6:45 a.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj, assisted by Sanjay, and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. A presidential commission has the ability and authority to conduct an investigation in detail and recommend remedial action accordingly. Leading lawyers say the UNHRC's allegations against Sri Lanka are baseless and the Sri Lankan government should give a clear-cut reply to bottle down the allegations. Coronavirus cases cross the 70,000 mark in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's coronavirus death toll climbs to 365. The Park and Ride project, which was initiated under the guidance of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, is being implemented successfully. State Minister Susil Premajayanth reiterates that rural development programs will not be interrupted under any circumstances. Parliament sittings commence today. In foreign news, a hacker tries to poison the water supply of Florida. President's Counsel Dr. Jayatissa De Soisa says a presidential commission has the ability and authority to conduct an investigation in detail and recommend the remedial action accordingly. Mr. Soisa also recalled the past event where former Prime Minister late Sirimava Bandaranaike's civic rights were not abolished by the court. It was removed by a presidential commission appointed at that time. Attorney-at-Law Dr. Pratibha Mahanamaheva said, the United Nations Human Rights Council, which has put forward some allegations against Sri Lanka in the latest document, cannot be accepted under any circumstances. The allegations make an impact and violate the integrity and sovereignty of Sri Lanka. Some of the clauses in the document discredit the heroic efforts of war heroes of Sri Lanka. Therefore, Dr. Mahanamaheva said, the allegations are baseless and the Sri Lankan government should give a clear-cut reply to bottle down the allegations. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank introduces the Parinatha Vishrama loan scheme to honour and empower pensioners.
The Director General of Health Services has confirmed 9 more COVID-19 related deaths, increasing the death toll due to the virus in Sri Lanka to 365. The victims reported include 3 females and 6 males. A 95-year-old male from Colombo 15 died on the 5th of February 2021 at his residence, and the cause of death is mentioned as COVID pneumonia. A 61-year-old female from Anuradhapura was diagnosed with the COVID-19 virus and was transferred from the teaching hospital in Anuradhapura to the base hospital in Homagama, where she died on the 8th of February 2021 while receiving treatment at the intensive care unit. The cause of death is mentioned as a shock due to blood poisoning and heart failure with COVID pneumonia. A 50-year-old male from Kurunegala was diagnosed with the COVID-19 virus and transferred from the teaching hospital in Kurunegala to the base hospital in Homagama, where he died on the 8th of February 2021. The cause of death is mentioned as COVID pneumonia. A 70-year-old male from Negombo was diagnosed with the COVID-19 virus and transferred from the chest hospital in Valisara to the base hospital in Homagama, where he died on the 7th of February 2021. The cause of death is mentioned as COVID pneumonia and a failure in the respiratory system. A 45-year-old female from Colombo 12 was diagnosed with the COVID-19 virus and transferred from the General Hospital in Colombo to the base hospital in Homagama, where she died on the 7th of February 2021. The cause of death is mentioned as COVID pneumonia and cancer. A 76-year-old female from Kites was diagnosed with COVID-19 and transferred from a private hospital in Colombo to the teaching hospital in Jaffna, where she died on the 7th of February 2021. The cause of death is mentioned as COVID pneumonia and paralysis. A 61-year-old male from Horana was diagnosed with COVID-19 and transferred from the Apeksha Hospital in Maharagama to the base hospital in Mulleriava, where he died on the 8th of February 2021. The cause of death is mentioned as blood poisoning, COVID pneumonia and a lung cancer. A 42-year-old male from the Gurudenia was diagnosed with COVID-19 and transferred from the National Hospital in Kandy to the base hospital in Homagama, where he died on the 1st of February 2021. The cause of death is mentioned as COVID pneumonia and blood poisoning. A 73-year-old male from Mavanalla was diagnosed with the COVID-19 virus and transferred from the base hospital in Mavanalla to the base hospital in Teldenia, where he died on the 8th of February 2021. The cause of death is mentioned as COVID pneumonia and a heart disease. The Park and Ride project, which is initiated under the guidance of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, is being implemented successfully. The Park and Ride facility will pave the way to outside motorists to limit their movement and save a lot of money and fuel. This has also reduced the traffic congestion in peak hours on the main roads. The Deputy General Manager of the Sri Lanka Transport Board, Panduka Swarnhansa, said, "The project is successful in main cities." Parliamentary sittings will commence today and will be held till the 12th of February. The dates were determined as decided by the Committee on Parliamentary Business according to the Communications Department of the Parliament. The Committee on Parliamentary Business met under the chairmanship of Speaker Mahinda Yapa Abhevardhana and decided to convene the Parliament during the next 4 days, a statement said. Accordingly, the regulation issued by the Minister of Labour under an extraordinary gazette, which was presented in the Parliament on the 21st of January under the Employees Provident Fund Act, will be taken up for debate tomorrow. Following the commencement of Parliament at 10 a.m, time will be allotted for the oral questions of the Members of Parliament until 11 a.m. Subsequently, the debate will begin at 11 a.m. and will continue until 4:30 p.m. The adjournment motion moved by the ruling party will be taken up for debate from 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister will answer the questions raised by the Members of Parliament on Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Thereafter, from 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m., time has been allotted for oral questions of Members of Parliament. On that day, the regulations imposed under the Gem and Jewellery Act will be taken up for debate, which will be held from 11 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. After that, the adjournment motion moved by the opposition will then be taken up for debate. 3 regulations under the Imports and Exports Control Act will be taken up for debate on Thursday. On the same day, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., time will be allotted for the oral questions of the Members of Parliament, and the adjournment motion moved by the government will be taken up for debate from 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Votes of condolence on the late MPs Ms. Surangani Ellavala, K.P. Silva and Kapila Aberatna will be presented in Parliament on Friday. The sitting will be held from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on that day, and no time will be allotted for the oral questions of the Members of Parliament. The Committee on Parliamentary Business had decided to limit the oral questions of the MPs to 10 per day. Meanwhile, the Sergeant-at-Arms of the Parliament, Mr. Narendra Fernando, announced that Members of Parliament are also invited to attend the random PCR testing program scheduled to be held from tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 12 noon at the Parliament premises. The random checkups will be conducted once a week during parliamentary sitting weeks as well as during non-sitting weeks, with the full support of the Department of the Director General of Health Services. Random PCR tests have been carried out since the 13th of January 2021, and the 190 subjects whose PCR tests were carried out last on the 25th of January were held to be negative. The Ministry of Health says that another 364 persons have tested positive for the novel coronavirus, as the tally of confirmed cases in the country crossed the 70,000 mark by yesterday. 19 of them are from the prisons cluster, while the remaining are close contacts of the infected patients from the Paliagoda cluster. A total of 878 new cases have been reported so far. This brings the total number of COVID-19 cases from the Minuangoda, Paliagoda and prisons clusters to 66,225. Accordingly, the total number of cases reported in the country thus far has reached 70,235. The total recoveries stand at 64,141, while 5,729 patients infected with the virus are currently under medical care. The death toll due to the virus has climbed to 365. The Zoom seminars of the Education Service of the SLBC will commence today. The programs in education services will be conducted in Sinhala and Tamil up to the 22nd of this month. These education programs are conducted with the sole purpose to benefit the students who are sitting for the GCE ordinary level examination this year. The students can enroll themselves for these Zoom seminars by providing their details to the WhatsApp number 074 174 1386. Once again, students can enroll themselves for these Zoom seminars by providing their details to the WhatsApp number 074 174 1386. Air Astana, the flag carrier of Kazakhstan, launched direct weekly flights to Mathal Airport last Saturday from Almaty. The inaugural flight carried 169 passengers. Lanka Sports Ritsin is the Sri Lankan GSA for the airline. The service will be operated using the new Airbus A321LR, which is configured with 16 business class and 150 economy class seats. The lie-flat business class seats are equipped with individual 16-inch screens, with 4 of the 16 seats offering additional personal space. Economy class features Recaro seats, which provide increased comfort for long flights and are equipped with individual 10-inch screens. The Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, which conducts the Ratana Sutra chanting program at island-wide Buddhist temples, has made arrangements to conduct today's program at the Mavaramandir Sri Sudarshana Rama Mahaviharya. This is the 105th program of the series. The Ratana Sutra program will be conducted on the guidance of Shastravedi Venerable Puttanagama Sumanarathana Thero. The program will be aired live from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. through the City FM, the commercial service and the other regional services of the SLBC. State Minister Susil Premajayant reiterates that rural development programs will not be interrupted under any circumstances. The State Minister further said around 75% of the population is involved in agricultural activities. Therefore, it is important to promote the agricultural activities of this country. The State Minister made these remarks at a media conference held at the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna head office in Batharamulla yesterday.
People's Bank introduces the Parinatha Vishrama loan scheme to honor and empower pensioners.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The Ministry of Health says that another 364 persons have tested positive for the novel coronavirus as the tally of confirmed cases in the country crossed the 70,000 mark by yesterday. 19 of them are from the prisons cluster, while the remaining close contacts of infected patients from the Paligoda cluster. A total of 878 new cases have been reported so far yesterday.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watchlight, residents and motorists of the Colombo city limits complain that certain main roads and inner roads are impassable due to the dilapidated conditions of those roads. The situation becomes worse during the rainy days. Sudden excavation work on the main road also makes the situation worse. This is for the attention of the RDA, the City Traffic Police and the Colombo Municipal Council.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In world news headlines, a hacker tries to poison the water supply of Florida city. Uttarakhand dam disaster, race to rescue 150 people missing in India. UK coronavirus variant spreading rapidly through the US, a study finds. A computer hacker gained access to the water system of a city in Florida and tried to pump in a dangerous amount of a chemical, officials say. The hacker briefly increased the amount of sodium hydroxide in Alzheimer's water treatment system, but a worker spotted it and reversed the action. Lye is used in small amounts to control acidity, but a large amount could have caused major problems in the water. Alzheimer Mayor Eric Seidel said, "There is a bad actor out there." Emergency workers are searching for as many as 150 people after a piece of Himalayan glacier is believed to have fallen into a river, triggering a huge flood in northern India and killing 26. The floodwaters burst open a dam and a deluge of water poured through a valley in the state of Uttarakhand on Sunday. Most of the missing are believed to be workers from 2 hydropower plants. The rescue effort is focused on several sites, including a tunnel more than 200 meters long. More than 30 people were apparently trapped inside when the torrent of icy water swept down the valley, carrying rocks and earth as it gathered speed. The coronavirus variant that has moved through the UK is now spreading rapidly through the US, according to a new study published on Sunday. The more contagious strain is nearly doubling its prevalence among confirmed cases in the US every 9 days. The spread of the variant, known as B.1.1.7, has put added pressure on vaccination efforts worldwide. The US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has predicted it could be the predominant strain by March. And now the main points of the world news segment once again. A hacker tries to poison the water supply of Florida. Uttarakhand dam disaster, race to rescue 150 people missing in India. UK coronavirus variant spreading rapidly through the US, a study finds.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
And now in development news, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa yesterday instructed the officials to increase the loan amount of 500,000 rupees that was proposed through the budget proposals for dairy farmers up to 1 million rupees. Hence, the dairy farmers would get an unprecedented opportunity from next week to obtain loans of up to 1 million rupees at a 4% interest rate to develop their infrastructure facilities related to their industry. This measure is taken to reduce the expenditure on the import of milk powder. That was development news, and now in sports news. In football, Luis Suarez scored twice, but it was not enough to earn victory for La Liga leaders Atletico Madrid as they were held to a draw by Celta Vigo. Santa Mena headed the visitors into the lead before Suarez tucked in an equalizer just before the break. The Uruguay forward then put Atletico ahead in the second half when he drove home Renan Lodi's cross.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Ceylon Biscuits Limited and CBL Natural Foods Private Limited were ranked among the 40 best workplaces in Sri Lanka 2020 by the Great Place to Work, while CBL Natural Foods is also ranked among the 10 best workplaces for women, recognizing its efforts to empower women in the workforce and value chain. With over 85% of its dynamic workforce falling into the category of millennials, CBL Exports was also ranked among the 10 best workplaces for millennials in 2020.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news. Courtesy of...
Hello, Puta, did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
First Capital Research in their Banking Sector 2021 report predicts that Sri Lanka's GDP will recover to 3.2% growth. This will be mainly supported by the recommencement of tourism activities. The report also adds that the economy is in transition and poised for renewed growth. This is also driven by the vaccination drive. Sri Lanka has already got its first shipment in the last week of January 2021. This provides confidence for the government to accelerate the relaxing of control measures. That was Economic News.
Congratulations on your promotion. Heard you gave a treat for everyone in your department yesterday.
Yeah.
It will be our treat, huh?
Well, how about today?
Oh no, I was just joking. We'll have a party with your new salary.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And now for the weather report. The Met Department says showers, thundershowers will occur at a few places in the Sabaragama province and in the Gala, Matara and Kalutara districts after 2 p.m. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere over the island. Fairly strong gusty winds up to 50 kilometers per hour can be expected in the northern, north-central, northwestern and eastern provinces, in the Hambantara district and in the eastern slopes of the central hills. Misty conditions can be expected in the central Sabaragama Ua provinces and in the Gala and Matara districts during the morning. This weather report was issued this morning at 4:30 a.m. Further details can be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. That was about the report, and now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. A presidential commission has the ability and authority to conduct an investigation in detail and recommend remedial action accordingly. Leading lawyers say the UNHRC's allegations against Sri Lanka are baseless and the Sri Lankan government should give a clear-cut reply to bottle down the allegations. Coronavirus cases cross the 70,000 mark in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's coronavirus death toll climbs to 365. The Park and Ride project, which was initiated under the guidance of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, is being implemented successfully. State Minister Sushil Premachandh reiterates that rural development programs will not be interrupted under any circumstance. Parliament sittings commence today. In foreign news, a hacker tries to poison the water supply of Florida. That concludes this news broadcast.